All right, very quick check-in just because I finished the first season of 2 different anime. But first, Anime Expo is currently on the go, and there were 2 announcements or 2 videos that got me very excited. The first being from the live-action TV show adaptation of One Piece, which obviously I'm very excited for. And I've known that the cast and crew and everyone have either always been big fans or become big fans of the series, and I trust them to put a lot of love into this series. But if I had any hesitations for even a second of how much love and care they're putting into this, it has been officially squashed just because we had the actor for Luffy meeting the Japanese voice actress for Luffy of the anime. And oh my god, it is the most heartwarming thing. At one point in time, they're having a conversation, they're talking back and forth, and then they both scream, like, I'm going to be the king of the pirates in Japanese. And she's been brought in to do the dub for the live action of the Japanese, and the rest of the original cast are also returning to do the Japanese voice acting for these characters of the live action. If that doesn't show how much they want this to succeed, I don't know what does. On top of that, you have them recreating the moment of Shanks handing off the straw hat to Luffy. So Yumi Tanaka putting the straw hat on Inaki. I'm very bad with names, we've established this. But that handover and him so emotional at meeting her and being so excited, and her being so proud and excited for what he's going to create and bringing Luffy to like a different screen and a new audience. Actual chills in that moment. I cried the first time I seen it. It was just on TikTok. Someone had emotional music over top of it. But it meant so much to see this handoff, and just for the love everyone has for this project. I am so excited. So excited. And the fact they're getting the rest of the voice actors coming in for the dub, as well as you have 2 of the actors, I forget which ones, are going to be doing the Spanish voice acting for their characters as well. I'm so excited for this. The other announcement was just something that made high school / teenage me very, very excited, because we have a continuation of the Black Butler anime coming. And oh, I love this series growing up, so I want to read the manga for it so bad. And now that we're getting an anime adaptation, I have too much manga to read. I'm very excited for this one. I'm reasonably excited for this adaptation as well. All right, so the 2 series that I've finished so far is Hell's Paradise. The first season is now complete, and it's an absolute delight. This is completely my vibe. I like to call it like daylight horror, where the imagery and the horror and the violence is all just bright and colorful. There's none of this, oh, it only happens in the dark. No, we have things that happen that cause flowers to sprout out of you, and you have corpses covered in brightly colored flowers. You have gorgeous imagery and scenery while monsters are attacking you, and then there's just blood everywhere. I don't know if this or Chainsaw Man is going to be my favorite of the Dark Trio, but I'm loving Hell's Paradise, and now that season 1's done, I know I'm not going to be able to wait for it to return, and I'm going to have to pick up the manga. Did I mention I have too much manga that I need to read? Not enough hours in the day. Work is too much. Okay, so basically, concept very simple. A bunch of criminals and a bunch of executioners all went to an island to look for the elixir of life. And then you have essentially godlike beings attacking them. There's a bunch of circles to the island, and they're at one location, and they need to get to the one where possibly the elixir is, except we don't even know if it's real, except we have all these other things hinting it is. You have the blending of religious elements. That's another thing I love. Just religious overtones that even if I don't understand it all, it's there, and it gives me an opportunity to learn and go into more of where these inspirations and influences came from. I adore all these characters, even the ones that are getting killed left, right, and center. My favorites being Gabimaru. So this is the shinobi who we meet at his execution, and he's just completely bored and done with everything, and people are trying to execute him through all these brutal, torturous ways, and he's just like, it's not gonna work, set him on fire, told you it's not gonna work, try to rip his limbs off. Oh, I'm sorry, I flexed and pulled your cattle back. That's my bad. So it's just like his body has become too strong for anyone to execute him. So they bring in a samurai professional executioner, Sagiri, and I love her. She especially portrays the themes of this show very well. It's a lot of balance, yin and yang, strong and weak. How weakness is the core of strength, and strength means weakness, and just like the balance of everything. So her issue is that she does not feel she has the mental fortitude to kind of suppress or wash away or not feel guilt and hesitation during an execution. And that hesitation goes into her blade, which causes Anid suffering. And she just needs to be able to learn to like repress everything and let it all go so it doesn't affect her what she thinks. But after realizing that Gabimaru wants to live, he doesn't actually want to be executed. The love he has for his wife and need to return to her, so she offers him the opportunity to go to the island and receive possibly a pardon if he is the one to find the elixir of life. And through watching him fight, she understands and learns that it's not about not feeling, it's not about overcoming all this, it's about bearing the weight and accepting this feeling and the weight of taking someone's life upon her. So it's not about being strong, it's about accepting your weakness. And it just fits in really well with the themes of the show. I adore these two characters. I adore the ones they travel with. Senta, especially, this kind of chubby looking executioner with the big glasses. He never even wanted to be an executioner. He's really big into philosophy and art, and he's learning the history of all this and telling the audience what's going on. I love him so much, and the respect he has for this other shinobi, the Kunichi, who is just living her life like free of the restraints put on her by society, and he just wants to be as free as her. The respect he has, I love this boy. But my favorite is, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing it right, Chobi or something like that. I love this man. Him and the executioner with him, is it Toma? I think it's Toma. I love these two, but especially Chobi, just because he's violent as hell and reckless, but he is adaptable. He can adapt to any situation, and the love he has for his own family and those he wants to protect, we've established, if you love and protect your family, I'm going to love you as well. I love this character. I can't wait to see what becomes of him and seeing him fight, and like a literal, more or less, God comes up to him and he's like, yeah, I can kill you. I love him. I love him so much. I love so many of these characters. I literally love every single character on this island, and the fact that they're all in danger is terrifying to me. Quite honestly, if anyone makes it off this island alive, I will be shocked. But that's the gist of the show. Animation is absolutely gorgeous. Like, so pretty. I love this show and its animation and its fight scenes, and especially who they're fighting against, these monstery guys and gods. I love them. I love them. In terms of the plot by the end, I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm not a big fan of where we left off. Without going into spoilers, I can't really say anything. So it includes a trope that I'm not a fan of, that I hope is rectified very soon when the next season starts. And again, I'm probably going to be impatient and read the manga. We also have a new white-haired character that I absolutely love. Two, actually. So, yeah, that's all for Hell's Paradise. Strongly recommend. Absolutely adore it. I'll probably go into more details when I start the manga, because it's only it's not that long of a manga. The chapters are long, but there's not many chapters. So we'll see what happens. All right, next we have Dead Mount Deathplay, and again, I only picked this one up because it's from one of the creators of one of my favorite series, Bakuno, and I'm so happy I did, but I have so many mixed feelings for it. This is going to be nowhere near one of my favorite anime, but it's just not, but it's a fun time. I've been enjoying watching it every week. Go into this knowing nothing, I beg of you, so completely spoiler-free, all you need to know is it's a reverse isekai. So war-torn place, battle, wizards, magic, person gets sucked into our world. They wake up in the body of a high school student, and it goes from there. The first episode, in my opinion, sucks. The animation is terrible. It looks like it's not terrible, but it really looks like I'm playing an early mid-2000s video game. And I'm like, I am not continuing on with this after the first episode. And then the last 20 seconds happen. I'm hooked. I'm like, I need to watch this series. And it goes on from there. We go into a mostly cop, somewhat supernatural crime kind of drama. As you have who are the firebugs causing havoc. You got this guy with a bunch of playing cards causing havoc. You got a mob-like family. You got a group of assassins. You got the police. All of the police officers I completely hate. I hate these characters. And then you have way too much fan service. Like, the amount of fan service in this show was starting to drive me crazy, because you have assassin lady with her two girlfriends having, they're in the hot tub and then they're in the bedroom and they're just continuing on conversations. So it's exposition with covered nudity. I mean, it's I don't know, is this still shonen? It's PG, but it's everything. It's just fog is covering things, and you can get away with that. Fine, we're having conversations in the nude, whatever. And then near the end of the season, you have like a character who is not an adult. I think they're 17. Goes into the shower and gets in with a 20-ish-year-old, both girls, and they're all upon each other to have a conversation. And I'm just like, this is not necessary. I feel like whoever's watching this, it's a test to be put on a watch list. Why? Why is that needed? Regardless, the season goes on, and I'm just like, you know what, maybe this series isn't for me. I mean, we had some fun action fights, but the mysteries that are being brought up of whether, like, how the worlds are connected, how the players in each world are going to impact it, and what the main mystery is, which I'll get into a little bit more once I'm at the vague synopsis, because again, the reveal is what would be making this fun to watch. And then I'm like, you know, maybe it's not enough for me to keep going. Maybe I'm not going to watch season 2. Last second of the last episode happens. I'm like, all right, see you in October. I need to watch this. The fan service is going to be insane for the next season. I just know it based on what happened in the last second. Okay, now to go into a little bit more detail of what the series is. So if you're going to watch it, I suggest you don't watch this part of the video. Because essentially, you have a war in the, what I feel is like virtual reality kind of fantasy world. And then character is fighting the corpse god, big evil bad guy. And he looks like he's on the side of religious zealots, honestly. Starts fighting and clashing, defeats the corpse god, and then spell happens, character wakes up with amnesia in the body of a dead teenager. He has been assassinated. So he's like, well, someone tried to kill me. Maybe I should figure out who that was. Goes about his day just saying he wants to live a peaceful life and he doesn't want violence. And again, peaceful life, only for the assassin come after him again. And then it is revealed that this man is not the hero from the previous world, but the corpse god, the villain, reanimated into our world. And he still has, while slightly limited as he needs to re-absorb magic kind of thing, but he definitely has his magic powers with him. And I'm just thinking, oh, what chaos is he going to cause in our world? But no, again, he just wants a peaceful life. And the reason he was in the villain of the previous world is because all these other characters hated him and killed everyone he loved because of who he was, and is just like he was fighting back against them when all he wanted was peace. So now in this world, he'll do anything to live a peaceful life, but that's hard because you have assassins coming after him. You got the mysteries of he's trying to figure out how his world is definitely connected with the world he's woken up in, and he doesn't know how. And he just needs to find a way to make money and survive, but he's kind of been adopted by a group of assassins. So like, yeah, we'll take you in, it's fine. It's all the stuff going on, and then the last episode has so much magic. It's wonderful. It's a cool fight. There's other beings with supernatural-like powers. I love so many of the characters when we're not going into fan service. But it's not engaging the entire way through for me. I had some trouble in the midway point to want to keep coming back to it. But then the last second of a cutaway scene happens, and we're getting a new type of monster that I'm just like, yes, I want to see what they do with this. So while, again, will be no way one of my favorite anime, it was definitely a fun time. I like the powers. The animation grew on me by the end. And I will be watching the next season, but no, I'm no interest in reading the manga. But I'm definitely invested to see how the two worlds are connected to each other. So those are my thoughts on those two seasons. I will check in later. We have the Bungo Stray Dogs season starting up soon. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is around the corner, and I didn't really like season 1. It was average. It was the most average thing I ever watched. So I'm excited to see if season 2 will be where I get hooked, because right now, no real time or investment in need to read the manga for that one either. But mostly I'm excited to start Hell's Paradise manga eventually, because I still gotta watch Hunter x Hunter, read Monster, read Bungo Stray Dogs. Yeah, there's just a lot I gotta read. All right, I will talk to you later.